Vintage Magic. Game, collect, invest. For more information about our consulting and professional services, visit vintagemagic.com.
All right, guys. Happy Magic 30 Finance Friday. Welcome back. Welcome back to a video. Hope you guys are doing well. If you're at Magic 30, please again, hit me up. My cell is on my website. In the very bottom, you can message me if you want to meet up, talk about Magic the Gathering. I am here having a lot of fun meeting all you guys, and look forward to seeing you guys at the show. If we miss each other, we can always meet up again. Just message me. All right. So today for Finance Friday, I want to go over a very, very widespread topic of the economy of Magic and discuss a lot of different points. So this video is pretty wide range, and I want you guys to hopefully sit down, grab a beverage, and relax, and hopefully you learn something out of the video. All right. So there's been lots of YouTubers talking about different things about the economy of Magic. In particular, Wizards of the Coast has reported a decline in revenue for about 16%. Also, there's been a lot of complaints. If you have seen just the enormous amount of sets out there, so many products that it's absolutely impossible to keep track of. I mean, back in the day, it was 1 or 2 sets, 3 or 4 maybe tops, and that's about it. Now, I think there's like 20 different products this year, and people are just getting tired of it. And the word I like to use here is, what I've used before, is wallet fatigue. What is wallet fatigue? Well, the average consumer for Magic the Gathering probably has, I don't know, less than $1,000 to purchase in about a quarter. That's about 3 months, I would guess. Once you start having so many different sets at these higher price points especially, you start having this wallet fatigue where the consumer gets really tired of purchasing. And frankly, a lot of players are starting to just not be interested in Magic the Gathering and actually buying into the new sets. And thus, there's been a stagnant growth in the player base. So that's one of the bigger problems also. So this is all caused by inflation, the recession. Obviously, believe it or not, the recession is here. I guess a lot of big wigs are warning a recession in the wintertime is guaranteed. So a lot of people are hoarding cash and very, very fearful of spending additional money on cardboard. So obviously, if it comes down to it, Magic the Gathering is not as important as your house, your job, insurance, medical bills, whatever, schooling, clothes, food. It's a crazy time. So that is, all this combined is causing a huge problem financially for Wizards. Also, Hasbro announced, or Wizards announced, that they want to increase, Hasbro wants to increase the profits for Magic the Gathering, and I think maybe Dungeons & Dragons, Wizards of the Coast, to about 50% more profit. So they need to obviously pump up the revenue, pump up the profitability, and they're spending less. So I foresee, obviously these conventions are far few between now, these Magic festivals. There's going to be less of that. Furthermore, I also think there might be even layoffs in the horizon. If the profits do not continue to grow and there's decline in the player base, there's without a doubt there's going to be job losses. Because obviously if you have a big company that isn't growing, you're not going to want to hire more people. It makes absolutely no sense to have more staff involved, etc. So here, those are kind of my points. And so I kind of want to allude to the kind of summary of what I think is going to happen for the marketplace long term. So, let's talk about short term and long term. Short term for the marketplace, I really feel like we're going to be in a very tough spot. There's a lot of selling in the international and collector's edition cards. And we're talking about old school cards. The newer cards are completely wrecked because think about it this way: you have ridiculous amounts of variations of already reprinted cards. Mana Crypt, Mana Drain, Termaggoyf, Fetch Lands, another version of the Island promo. It doesn't matter what set you have, there's always there's so much like reprinted cards. The wallet fatigue is insane. And I kind of want to think about it from an LGS standpoint because LGS stores have to maintain a certain amount of cash to buy collections, operating costs for payroll, advertising, whatever, right? They also have to have product. And when a company is releasing so much product, it's very difficult for an LGS store unless you have ridiculous amount of cash. And that doesn't happen. They will end up starting to buy less product or only buy product that they feel that they have the best margin to make money off of. And it's almost like a pick and choose thing. Now, they might be forced. I'm not sure how the rules are set where you have to buy X amount of product. But the thing is, it wasn't like before. Before, they were speculating, buy more cases. They were doing mass box openings to, have more singles available for the players. If you have a decline in the player base and a lack of confidence in the player base because of the economy, wallet fatigue, etc., you're not going to have a demand like you used to for the singles. Thus, you have a trickle-down effect. It really affects the overall economy for Magic. Now, short term, let's talk about the older Magic cards. I really feel like the stores really don't have the cash to buy older Magic cards. I'm going to say that I'm very firm on my belief on that. When a collection comes in and it's of large dollar amounts, unless it's a screaming deal, there's probably no chance in the world they're going to purchase it. They're probably going to say, well, that's too much money. That means that the margins, if someone's trying to sell it, is not attractive enough. They're just going to let it go. That's because the cash flow is really low. And as you have seen probably in other videos of other YouTubers or look at the financials, whenever the interest rates are so high right now, right? It's like 7% or so for mortgages. It's going to increase to 8, 9, 10%, double digits. And if that happens, what's already happening, savings accounts, CDs, things like that are safe will reach 3, 4, they're already at 3%, 4, 5, 6%, right? Just to save your money. And that really means that you start questioning, do I want to buy a Magic product when the savings and stuff or the basic money market accounts are yielding so much interest? And that's kind of the dilemma, because before the idea of Magic the Gathering and crypto and all that stuff was, hey, money's flowing, at a low interest rate. Let's just invest in things. Cash is trash, because if you have a bunch of cash back in the day, it wasn't that far ago, the cash doesn't go very far because it's not producing any interest. It's not producing any type of growth. See, the problem is now that the rates are so high, and I don't see it going down anytime soon, there's going to be a big issue with LGS stores. They're going to have to decide, are we going to risk more product that doesn't even grow in value because of the fact that the player base is having wallet fatigue, there is a recession, all these other factors? Do I want to risk that? And also, other games like Pokemon, Flesh and Blood, MetaZoo, whatever, right? There's also a choice for consumers to purchase into other games. So Magic the Gathering, while it is still number one in the TCG space, it really has the idea of this, like it's a collectible card game where the keyword is collect. Is it really collectible? Like when you buy something and the value of, they're doing packs now with like multiple mythics, multiple rares and foils. Is that really rare and exciting? Is that really collectible? Is it special anymore? Answer is no. I mean, honestly, I don't even invest in that kind of stuff. So it really, really affects the newer markets. But older markets are really affected from a long-term perspective, because I'm actually really, really concerned about something. If the player base continues to drop multiple years, if the growth of Magic itself continues to drop, and as I age, I'm 42 now, Rudy, other investors, collectors, and whatever, they have these amassed large amounts of wealth and older collectibles. While the prices will probably hold for the most part because of the sheer scarcity, and people are still buying if the prices hit a certain point, there's going to come a point where if there isn't enough growth in the newer Magic players, the nostalgia factor lessens. And think about this, like as we get older, if the newer player base doesn't increase their wealth and continue teaching their kids and passing along generations, it's going to make the older Magic cards flat as they are now. And they've gone down probably a little bit double digits, probably 10, 20% on the Four Horsemen stuff. These super high-end artwork, fancy, quads, whatever, that's different, right? But I'm referring specifically to the main Four Horsemen stuff, even some alpha and beta and unlimited for sure, and revised dual lands, etc. So also another thing is investors don't really speculate on buyouts and other investments, speculatory stuff, buying additional assets such as booster boxes. When revised booster boxes were hitting at $15,000 at one point, now they're at a whopping $7,000 to $8,000. I mean, you got to be kidding me. Now, there is a lot more revised out there, but I've been saying this in my videos. I don't know if anybody ever listens to my videos. Revised dual lands are always the first thing that sell off during a recession or economic downturn. It's the most accessible, the cheapest thing to sell, least important people's decks, and they need the cash quick. So there's a ton of supply of them, hundreds of thousands of copies of each one. Don't quote me on that. I think it's over 100,000 for sure, but close to 150, something like that. So that many copies, when you are desperate for money, you're losing your job, something happens, it's really important to understand that those, people have been saying, well, Dan, is it really a downturn or is it a buying opportunity? I got to say, the people with the cash right now sitting around, I got lots of cash waiting around to buy stuff. I don't really give a shit what happens. I'll just be honest. If you did not listen to me in the previous videos and you did not save cash, you did not have a financial position ready to go, I really don't care. But people who are over leveraged and borrowing for those cards, or who have purchased at the higher price points, they're going to have a very difficult time. They're going to have to take a loss to gain cash. That will therefore make the market lower, especially older cards, because there's more supply. And then the cash they use, they have to make a wiser decision. Do I buy this time, or do I, continue waiting for things to go down? And I think people are more fearful than ever, and they think that things are going to go down. And that's really scary. Will it correct to the 2016, 2017 prices? I'm confident that's not going to, especially the rare stuff. But I have a suspicion that it could easily get to that 2019 prices in some weird way on some of the items. It's just because people need cash. And these are still very valuable. You're talking 5 figures for a CE set, Ice set, Arabian Nights, same thing, Legends, or Antiquities. People are, I got trolled, I don't know, that someone said that, I'm selling a Legends set. And I said, well, I've bought them for nearly almost 10K, basically. Yeah, people have been selling the sets. They just they need the cash. If you have the cash, you can buy it. Now, a lot of you be like, well, send them my way. I want to buy the cards. That's not how it works. If someone approaches you to sell the damn cards, you're not going to give it to someone else. That's not how it works. And some of this stuff isn't even public. They're just PMs or, meeting up, giving cash, right? Obviously. So cash is very powerful right now. I don't think people understand that. Crypto. Let's talk about crypto. Crypto's kind of waned around close to 20,000. It's kind of flattened a little bit, stabilized, So I don't think that's going to tank much further. It might go to like 15,000, a certain point, but I think it's going to bounce back up probably early next year and go to like 25, 30,000. I'm guessing that. You're probably wondering, well, how's that possible during a recession? Well, I think people want to park their money into speculatory stuff, and they're going to have all this cash ready to go. And eventually, the rates are going to have to go down a little bit or flatten or stabilize. Once that happens, people know where they're really at financially. They've saved their money, etc. People have to start putting their money to work. And the question is, what point will that happen? And you have to choose the asset. And with all this stuff happening, you have to be a little more cautious this time. All right, guys. Well, I want to hear from you in your comments below. I hope you guys are having a great show at Magic 30. If you haven't gone, it's okay. I'm going to have some videos. I'm shooting videos as this video has launched. And I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Happy Finance Friday. Love to hear your comments about this topic. Very important topic. And talk to you guys soon.
Hey everyone, it's Daniel Chang with VintageMagic.com. In this video, I want to run through our consultation service on VintageMagic.com. So what's really exciting to me about the consultation process is meeting you. I've met so many incredible people in the Magic the Gathering industry all over the world, and this consultation process is the key part to a successful working relationship. Getting hold of me is very simple. You could call or email me. We'll talk more about your needs. From all that information I gather in our call, typically about an hour long, I'm going to determine the best solution for you. So because we have such a suite of services that we offer, I'm going to sit down with a follow-up call, and then we're going to go off and determine what the best path is. I have experience in handling conversations in regards to large collections of artwork, sets of cards, either if it's graded or ungraded, raw cards. I also have dealt with collections with lots of misprints and oddities. Altered cards, sketch cards, and artist proofs are also one of my specialties. My experience in Magic Gathering has gone to any level of collecting you may have. I look forward to working with you.
Vintage Magic. Game, collect, invest. For more information about our consulting and professional services, visit vintagemagic.com.